All right, guys, what's going on? Welcome back to Chris's Sports Corner. Real quick, man, I want to say happy Thursday to everybody, man. It's Motivation Thursday. Some people got other names for it, but we're gonna keep it positive on this Thursday. Real quick, man, I want to say, like always, man. First of all, thanks to everyone that's been hitting me up, DM me on Instagram, man. I really appreciate that. Want to have conversation, ask questions, or have a little input. I'm 100% for that, man. I'm all about trying to get better and make a better presentation for you guys. So continue to do that, man. Hit me up on Instagram, shoot me a DM, follow me on Instagram. If you got something that, if I can't get to your message in the comments, I definitely hit you up there, man. Also, what I'm saying? Like always, I got some cool merch down there for pretty much all teams. So check out the merch and let me know what you guys think. And lastly, man, if you like this kind of content, please subscribe. I'm a small channel, so your subscription means a lot to me. I know big channels can't really see it. I can see every one of them, so I really appreciate it, man. I really, really, really do, man. So with that being said, man, let's get into it. The Houston Rockets versus OKC. To me, I think today showed, like, OKC is always any team. I honestly feel like any team with Chris Paul on the team is going to compete, right? I can honestly say that any team with Chris Paul on it is going to compete because he demands that. He try to lead in that way. He does lead in that way. He's a great leader. And he seems like first of all, he's accepted this challenge of being a mentor to a lot of the younger individuals. I don't like to say they're grown. I don't like to say younger kids, but the younger athletes. And kudos to him for that, man. But today I think it's pretty much the writing's on the wall for the series. Right now, I'm not the one to count no one out, man. I think anybody can come back and do anything and pretty much shock the world, right? I really believe that. I believe anyone can come back and do that. But today's game kind of felt like it was the writing on the wall because the Rockets had no Westbrook. Harden had only 14 points late into the fourth quarter. I'm talking, it was like 4 minutes and something left. He only had 14 points. He was struggling, but you seen the Rockets really, really show their depth. And what you're starting to notice is how deep teams are. And I always say this about the Rockets. I'm not gonna stop saying this. They super serve their niche, and what I meant by that is they understood what they're great at, and that's all they're doing. They are not trying to play nobody else's ball. They're gonna play ball the way that it works for them. And when Harden can have a night that wasn't impressive as far as scoring. It wasn't a typical Harden night. There was no Russell Westbrook, and they still win that game. Oh no. To me, I'm just being honest. I believe in Chris Paul. I think the Oklahoma City Thunder got some great tutoring this year. I think that they're a young team. They're on the rise. They got several players that I like, and I've always been a fan of Gallinari since he was in Denver. So I'm not taking nothing from OKC, man, but I think this series, the writing's on the wall for this one. Like, it's only going to, Harden ain't going to have another low-scoring game like he did today. And when you look at the way that this team is structured, man, you look at the way that they are doing it, right? You know what I think about the Rockets is, and not even necessarily this series, because I think this series is pretty much, we know how this one's going to go. But I pretty much think, and I'm not saying OKC won't get a win in here, but it's really probably get swept, but who knows, might not. I'm not saying that, I'm not saying that the Rockets I'm not saying it for this series, but in series to come, I think they're going to present such a different dynamic than we ever seen. I think that so many teams are going to have a problem with the Rockets because the Rockets are literally so unconventional that it's hard to play. Like, it ain't too many teams. Nice some out there, don't get me wrong, but it ain't too many teams where you just want that you could just that they can stretch that far, right? Like the Rockets could stretch a team so far, and if you got a big man on the floor, he almost become a liability. For one, how do you keep up? And two, is he that comfortable outside the paint? And you know what I also find funny that I don't think I've talked about this yet. They do have a big man on their roster. I think we just don't realize it. In Tyson Chandler. He's there. They're like, nah, we're gonna do us. We're gonna do us. So I think that for this series, man, I think the writing's on the wall, man. The writing's on the wall for this one. But overall, man, I think that OKC is a team that really got a lot that they can build on, man. I think they took pretty much, and I don't mean to say this in no derogatory way at all. First of all, let me say that I'm not being derogatory. First of all, these are NBA players. These are players that's at the top of the world when it comes to playing their sport. They're that great, and and I'm not saying this derogatory. So I just want to make that clear before I make this statement. But it's like OKC got what was dumped on them for Paul George, got rid of Paul George, and put this together, and they took a team that was improbable. The OKC Thunder wasn't considered a playoff team. No one thought they were going to be in the playoffs, but they are. So above all, they deserve a major kudos for that. But when you look at a team like the Rockets that I think are, like, you get those teams, it's sort of like when you sit back and you watch and you're like, okay, Lakers did, Clippers this, whoa, Portland's on fire. You hear, but it's like everyone's quiet about the Rockets. And the Rockets are killing it quietly. And they put so much pressure on the defense. They put so much pressure on the defense. Russell Westbrook getting into that middleman. It's so much pressure on that middle guy that is 9 times out of 10 gonna end up in a foul or a layup for him. And it's relentless. It's relentless. And he didn't even play today. Harden had a very unconventional day today. But the Rockets showed off their depth. And they're never talked about. The depth that they have and their role players. Their role players won this game. Straight up, role players won this game for them. You know what I'm saying? And when your role players are bringing you victories, you know your team in a good spot. So shout out to the Rockets. OKC, I'm going to keep hope alive for you, but it's not looking good right now. I salute to OKC because they took what they had and made the most out of it, but I just don't think that they're not measuring up in this series. With that being said, guys, please like, comment, subscribe to the channel. Till next time, you guys be great, man.